A week later, Lin Cheng came back from his business trip. He found an excuse to tell me that Chen Fang had quit. He also told me that his mother's condition had worsened. He sat on the sofa in a depressed state, hugging me tightly. He said that if he didn't have a mother, I would be the only one left. I sneered in my heart, but pretended to be worried on the surface and said, "Husband, what are you talking about? Mom will definitely get better. Are you worried about money? It doesn't matter. My eyes can't be cured anyway. You can take our savings to treat Mom. As long as you can cure Mom, it doesn't matter how much money you spend." Hearing this, Lin Cheng's body obviously stiffened for a moment. Soon, a vicious look appeared on his face. He obviously thought of Chen Fang taking all his money. Then, he was a little moved by my words and hugged me tighter. Holding back the disgust in my heart, I was afraid that he would do something intimate with me because of this. Fortunately, he thought of something after hugging for a while, found an excuse, and left home quickly. In the next half month, Lin Cheng was very busy every day. I would secretly watch him chatting every day, and I felt relieved when I learned that he was trying every way to target Chen Fang and force her to pay back the money. In Lin Cheng's heart, his mother is naturally more important than anything else. Otherwise, he would not have wronged Chen Fang for her and married me. With his mother's medical expenses behind him and he lost his job, he would definitely get the money back from Chen Fang. Or even more, even if he used extraordinary means. Sure enough, not long after, I got the news from Jiang Linwen. Chen Fang was sued by Lin Cheng and the man she cheated. Because the evidence was conclusive, Chen Fang not only constituted the crime of fraud, but also paid a lot of money to the two people. As for cheating and having a messy private life, after all, it is a moral issue and is not covered by the law, which makes Lin Cheng feel relieved. I learned that the money had already arrived in Lin Cheng's account. I took advantage of the fact that he had not yet transferred the money to the hospital and quickly implemented my third step of revenge plan. I called the police. I called the police directly to my home. Accompanied by Jiang Linwen, I directly showed the police all the evidence in my home that Lin Cheng had not had time to clear. I told the police everything that Lin Cheng had done to me. After they collected evidence from my home and found a lot of hydroxychloroquine in the utility room, all kinds of emotions that I had suppressed for too long finally broke out. I covered my face and cried bitterly. The police stayed with me at home, and when Lin Cheng came in happily with the money, they rushed over and pressed him to the ground. Lin Cheng was obviously dumbfounded. He looked at me and Jiang Linwen sitting on the sofa in shock. Realizing something, he suddenly looked at the photos on the wall. His face trembled in fear. He looked at the drugs that were found on the ground and trembled. He looked at me with a pale face and said, Wife, Shen Yi, don't listen to your boss's nonsense. He is lying to you. It's not like that. This man has bad intentions towards you. As early as when we were dating, I felt that there was something wrong with the way he looked at you. He must have seen that we were too happy and couldn't see you well, so he lied to you. You have to believe me. Until this moment, Lin Cheng didn't know that I had recovered my sight. Seeing this scene, his first reaction was that my boss came to see me at home and found the clues of the decoration at home. So he chose to call the police. But what did he mean by Zhang Linyun having bad intentions towards me? Ignored him and continued to cover my face to vent my emotions. I let the police take Lin Cheng away. Before leaving, Lin Cheng was still yelling at me to believe him and to find a way to get him out of the police station. I cried for several hours before I calmed down. Accompanied by Jiang Linwen, I went to the police station. Because Lin Cheng was detained, all the related things on him were searched. I got his bank card and successfully transferred all the money back to my card. And the various records in his mobile phone that he had not deleted in time became evidence to help him determine his sentence. 13. In late summer, after I won the divorce lawsuit, I met Lin Cheng again. It was in the court where he was sentenced. For so long, his family has been helping him to work for me. They refused to admit that they poisoned me, and they also blamed Chen Fang for everything he had done with Chen Fang. She said that Lin Cheng had to do what Chen Fang wanted because she had something on him. She relied on my blindness to confuse right and wrong. I didn't say anything, but I went to see Chen Fang before Lin Cheng's trial. I told her everything. Chen Fang was a tough character. She actually left a lot of audio evidence to prevent Lin Cheng from being disobedient. She said she wanted to use these things to force Lin Cheng to bail her out. After all, she was pregnant. Although the child was not Lin Cheng's, it was enough to bail her out and give her time to maneuver. Now that Lin Cheng was in jail and was so cruel to her, leaving no room for mercy, she might as well help me, even if it was to do good deeds for the child in her belly. Atonement. Staring into my eyes, she smiled bitterly and regretfully. I knew you were a tough character. The first time I saw you was when I went to Lin Cheng's company to find him. You were holding a project team meeting for them at the time. You stood there, full of vigor and vigor. I knew at that time that you were not easy to mess with. I advised Lin Cheng many times for this, but he just didn't believe it. Congratulations, Sister Yi. Your eyes are shining again. I attended the court with the evidence and expectations provided by Chen Fang. With a carefully made hairstyle and makeup, I picked the most eye-catching clothes, stepped on high heels, and walked into the court swaggeringly and briskly, and sat in the plaintiff's seat. In the solemn court, I watched Lin Cheng being taken to the defendant's seat and locked up. With my eyes open, I watched him look gray and miserable without blinking. When he was finally settled and looked at me with a look of grasping at a life-saving straw, I blinked and gave him a cunning and ostentatious. I stretched out 2 fingers and pointed at my eyes and then at his eyes. I held my chin with both hands, tilted my head, and waited for the expression on his face. Sure enough, after being stiff for nearly 10 seconds, he suddenly looked like he had figured it out and stood up from the chair angrily. He grabbed the microphone in front of him, and his first reaction was to throw it at me. His eyes were red, and he roared with a ferocious face. Shen Yi, you can see it. You have seen it a long time ago. Kill you. I will kill you, you despicable woman. You deliberately calculated me, didn't you?" Fierce words jumped out of his mouth, one after another. The bailiff stepped forward quickly and forcibly suppressed him. But he was so angry that he actually started fighting with the bailiff. I raised my eyebrows and looked at the lawyer, who immediately said, "According to Article 309 of the criminal law, anyone who disturbs the order of the court shall be sentenced to fixed-term imprisonment of not more than 3 years. Detention, control, or a fine." Hearing that his current behavior might add to his crime, he stopped moving. The next moment, he looked at me with a more ferocious look. But he still had a trace of rationality left, and he actually sat back in his seat, obediently. Then, when his lawyer defended him, he changed his tone and insisted that the poisoning was led by Chen Feng, and he had to cover up for her because of her threats. He admitted that he had cheated, but he was also a victim and had no choice. After saying that, he looked at me viciously and provocatively, as if he was going to kill me when I got out of prison. I sneered, and as he stared at me, I calmly submitted Chen Feng's evidence to the judge.